Lauren's Kingdom by Lauren Book. Illustrated by Marco Barreto. Lauren's Kingdom. In a sunny city where palm trees sway in rhythm to the salty breeze of the mighty ocean, lived a young girl named Lauren. Lauren's beautiful blonde hair sparkled in the sun's bright blaze like a bouquet of dazzling yellow daffodils. Her cheery smile was so radiant that it warmed the hearts of everyone she met. Lauren was so very happy. Lauren lived in a sweet little stone house with her family, but sometimes she would pretend that her house was a giant castle that overlooked the clear blue waters of the open sea. She would look out upon the sea and imagine that she was a princess, riding on the back of a friendly dolphin as the ocean's mist tickled her face. Inside the little stone house, Lauren would pretend her bedroom was her own private palace. The walls of her room were painted pink and peach with unicorn wallpaper. Beneath the spotlight of the bright blue moon and its twinkling sister stars, Lauren would stand on her balcony as the midnight wind would blow through her golden hair. She would pretend this was her kingdom. Lauren lived in the little stone house with her loving family. Her dad was a wise and caring man who worked as a lawyer, traveling here and there and everywhere to help pass laws to make the world a better place. Sometimes Lauren would pretend that her dad was the royal king in her make-believe kingdom. She would pretend her mom was the beautiful queen of the castle, and she and her sister were princesses, and her baby brother, the prince. Lauren loved to pretend with her brother and sister. They would play hide and seek in the house, Marco Polo in the pool, and a crazy game of kickball every Sunday afternoon. At the end of the school year, Lauren's dad and mom gathered the children and announced that they had hired a babysitter who would help watch the children during the summertime while school was out. The babysitter was very nice to the children. She made them tasty dinners like chicken tenders with baby corn and angel food cake with chocolate icing for dessert. She washed their clothes, played games with them, made them laugh, and made sure that they were all happy. Lauren liked the new babysitter. One night, the babysitter entered Lauren's private palace bedroom and sat beside her on the bed. The babysitter told Lauren how beautiful her smile was, and then she touched Lauren's lips with her fingers. This made Lauren feel very uncomfortable. The babysitter told Lauren how beautiful her hair was, and then she touched Lauren's long blonde hair with her fingers. Lauren did not feel right about the way the babysitter had touched her lips and her hair. Her tummy felt sick inside. Every day it seemed that the babysitter was always touching Lauren where she should not be touched. Lauren could not brush her hair or even her teeth without the babysitter standing beside her. Lauren wanted to tell someone about the way that she was feeling and the way the babysitter had touched her, but she was scared of the bigger and stronger babysitter, and she couldn't find the words to tell. Lauren started staying away from her family. She didn't pretend that her pretty pink bedroom was a private palace. It felt more like a dark dungeon of fear. And the babysitter was the terrible green ogre holding her like a prisoner inside its walls. Lauren's once bright smile had faded away. She no longer lit up the faces of others when she would meet them on the street. Lauren did not take care of her beautiful blonde hair anymore. It no longer looked like a bouquet of dazzling yellow daffodils. Sometimes she did not even wash or comb it. Lauren even stopped eating her favorite foods like chicken tenders and angel food cake with chocolate icing. Lauren's heart was turning to stone. She was losing her light. One day, Lauren watched through the front window of her little stone house as her dad was climbing into the front seat of his car. She wanted to tell him what the bad babysitter was doing to her, but she felt so alone and scared. And then she heard an inner voice, her guiding voice, speaking from her heart. If you're choking back tears and your heart's full of fears, you know very well it's okay to tell. Suddenly, Lauren found her courage, and she bolted through the front door just as her dad's car was pulling away from the curb. She ran outside the front door to him, but she was too late. Her dad's car was already down the street. Lauren ran down the street after him, but he did not see her. Lauren turned to make her way back home when she noticed a group of young kids playing basketball on the outside courts. She watched as a boy her age made a basket after basket. "Good shot, Rodney," yelled another player. After the game was over, Lauren watched a man grab Rodney by the arm and hurl him to the ground. The man yelled at Rodney and then walked away. Lauren ran to Rodney, who lay on the ground with big tears rolling down his face. "Are you okay?" Lauren asked. "My uncle hates me," Rodney said sadly as he wiped his nose. "Why don't you tell someone about the way he treats you?" asked Lauren. "Because he said he will hurt my mom if I ever tell her what he does to me, and I have no one to help me," the little boy sniffled. "You do now," replied Lauren. Every day, Lauren would leave her little stone house to meet her new friend Rodney. For the first time in months, Lauren's smile finally started to return. She began washing and combing her long blonde hair again. Lauren would shoot hoops with Rodney, and they would laugh and talk, and she even found the courage to tell Rodney about her deepest, darkest secret. The mean, green ogre babysitter. He understood her pain. Lauren made a promise to Rodney that she would tell her mom and dad about the babysitter touching her if Rodney would tell his mom about his mean uncle hitting and kicking him. She told him, "If you're choking back tears and your heart's full of fears, you know very well it's okay to tell." Rodney agreed, and the two friends shook hands to seal the deal. As happy as it made the two new friends, Lauren's babysitter did not like the idea of Lauren and Rodney confiding in one another, not one bit. She locked Lauren inside her room to keep her from talking to Rodney ever again. Big tears rolled down Lauren's eyes as she sat inside her dark dungeon. She curled up into a ball on her bed, closed her damp eyes, and fell asleep. Lauren dreamt. She dreamt she was on the back of the friendly dolphin, jumping waves and speeding through the blue-green waters of the vast ocean. As they darted through the waters, a black cloud suddenly covered them from above. Lauren turned to find the green ogre babysitter following them on a giant barracuda. She called out from the back of the dolphin as the waves crashed upon her tiny body. "Help me," she pleaded. "Save me from the green ogre." From out of the sky, a unicorn with magnificent fiery wings sailed past Lauren and the racing dolphin. Upon the winged stallion sat her best friend Rodney. "I'm here for you, my friend," he yelled. Lauren's eyes beamed as Rodney reached down and scooped Lauren up from the back of the dolphin, hoisting her up to the back of the magical one-horned steed. Lauren smiled as she held on to her brave friend as the unicorn flew through the snow-white clouds. When she awoke, Lauren was filled with hope. She knew that the time had come to be brave and share her unsafe secret. So, she rushed into her parents' bedroom. With tears in her eyes, Lauren took a deep breath and told her parents about the mean green ogre babysitter and all of the terrible things that she did. Her father held his precious daughter in his arms. He looked into her eyes as tears raced down his face. "The mean green ogre babysitter will never ever touch you again, I promise, my sweet angel face." Later that night, the mean green ogre babysitter was taken away from Lauren's little stone house forever, and Lauren was finally free to laugh and play. The next day, Lauren looked out from her balcony to the basketball courts below and saw Rodney holding his mom's hand. Rodney waved up to his friend Lauren. "We did it, Lauren. We shared our unsafe secrets, even though we were scared. It was okay to tell." With a smile that would outshine the brightest star, Lauren waved back to him and said, "Yes, we did. Thank you, Rodney." Lauren and Rodney learned a great lesson through their friendship, that it is always okay to tell a trusted adult or a grown-up buddy if you're feeling sad, afraid, or icky. Lauren's kingdom was a safe place now, full of love and kindness and driven by one golden rule. If you're choking back tears and your heart's full of fears, you know very well it's okay to tell. The end.